Jason Roth, Keystone Agronomist, here to talk about plant health effects and fungicides. So normally when we think about fungicides, the number one reason we apply a fungicide is to control disease. But sometimes as people talk about fungicides, you'll hear them talk about this plant health effect business. What is that all about? Well, it's usually they're trying to talk about the things that fungicides have been shown to do in a plant besides disease control. So how else can they help the plant health? In ways other than disease control, which can be helpful to know about, especially in the years that may be a little bit lacking in disease. There still can be some value there. So let's talk about it a little bit more in detail. Number one, let's think about the different groups of fungicides. So there's primarily three different groups of fungicides we use in row crops. Group 3s, those would be the triazoles. Group 7s, those would be the SDHI or carboxamides, or the group 11s, which would be the QOIs or the strobilurin products. Where is the plant health component largely coming from what we know today? It's primarily probably coming from the group 11s, the strobilurins, and there's some evidence as well that some of the group 7s, those SDHI or carboxamides, may also be bringing some plant health to the picture. So that's where it's going to be coming from. Next is to understand, this is really important, that we're talking about some stress mitigation. We're not talking about stress elimination with some of these plant health effects, right? So if we have drought, they're not going to eliminate drought. When you need rain, the way to eliminate the greatest amount of stress there is to get moisture. And so understand that there's nuances to the stress mitigation, and they're not going to be complete eliminators of stress. But let's talk about what some of these plant health or stress benefits can be from fungicides. So first of all, we think about ethylene production. Ethylene production is naturally occurring in the plant. It helps them senesce, but that can be elevated. The production of ethylene, which is a hormone in the plant, which causes that senescence, can be elevated under stress. And of course, we don't want leaves to senesce prematurely, because if they senesce prematurely, that photosynthetic factory is going to be shut down. So one of the things that fungicides can do is they can suppress a little bit of ethylene production, causing stay green, lengthening the duration that that plant is photosynthetically active, which can help increase seed weight, which is a big deal in maximizing yield potential in modern genetics. So another thing besides that these can do is thinking about stalk health, right? If you ever had a crop go down, you know the pain of a harvest season, right? And so one of the benefits of these fungicides can be increasing the strength of the stalk, which can be really important come harvest season. Another thing is impacting some water use efficiency or some respiration rates in the plant. And so that can be the using up of moisture or the burning of energy, both of which can be really important to preserve in the growing season during the grain fill period, right? If we can conserve moisture a little bit and use it a little bit more efficiently, that can go a long way in the photosynthetic process to produce more energy. Or if we're thinking about conserving energy being used, right? And plants don't just make energy, they also burn energy. That's respiration. If a little bit less energy is being burned in respiration, a little bit more of that energy can go towards the grain to help drive kernel weight. And then the last thing that fungicides can do is help deal with reactive oxidative species, ROS, so oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress causing in a plant when it's under stress? Well, what ultimately is happening is we have lipids that are breaking down, cell membranes that are breaking down, which leads to leaf tissue destruction. And that again is hurting photosynthetic potential in the plant. And fungicides can help with antioxidant production, which helps reduce the amount of reactive oxidative species that occur and cause damage in the plant. So those are some of the plant health effects that get thrown out there. And the last caveat that's probably important to mention is that not all genetics respond the same to some of these plant health effects. And so that's something I talk about in another video. So with that, we'll post some other information to this video that will be helpful. Thanks for tuning in.